one up, just not getting any pack points. I feel like that was what's happening there. Players were just getting beaten in duels in the middle of the arena. All right, jumping into our next game.
Riptide
on red, Eclipse on blue.
Go.
And who do we have on green there? Vikings on green.
Vikings.
All right, 1v5, v7. Yeah, so Riptide.
I did say Riptide.
Yep, just confirming, Riptide on red.
Riptide.
All right. So, another early defensive start. We see 2 defenders in green base and a third outside the door. We see blue defender already bored looking out the front door. And we do see a red player on the triangle and no one else. So everyone else is pushed out for some tags. Eclipse with that very long-ranging defense, it looks like.
Absolutely.
Getting that early pack lead.
Let's flick over to some cameras here. Blue looking like nobody's home. Green playing a strong 4-man defense.
Yeah, I just saw a player get tagged there. All right, I'm doing it. I'm pushing the button. Let's see what's happening in the middle of the maze. We can see players already coming out of a reload. They've already cycled 7 lives.
Holy.
So there's a lot of dueling going on here. The game is entirely on those pack points. And this time we can see a bit of an action. We can see it outside blue base at the bottom left camera there. We can see a little bit of a player leaning between green to red as well on that top camera.
And Eclipse, 5th player is just chilling. It's done nothing.
So if we go back to the base cameras, we see exactly what that 5th player is doing. No one's come to blue. So really good job from Eclipse in pushing up into the middle of the maze and making sure they get those pack points early. Here's some action at blue base.
Finally, Mopar is involved now.
He's involved, gets the tag, gets the communication from his team, gets the tag. Very nicely done. Continues just standing, watching out that door, seeing all there is to see in that open area. Do you see a bit of action happening at green? Sorry, my voice is starting to go. Really nice dive by a Riptide player, but the second defender there does get them. I think that's CV for the Vikings, dropping back into defense.
Yes, it is, absolutely. That's Karen back up underneath that half height there. Jellyhawk at the front door.
I hear a lot of yelling at blue, so we're going to swip to the blue camera. And we do see probably Runt just doing Runt things in blue base, like he so often does.
Yes.
That really long-legged hold in between those 2 panels to just shoot in all directions at once.
Wow. Man, just doing circle work underneath blue.
Yep, getting into those legs nice and strong for that.
I could never.
I could never either. All right, back to the arena cameras. Come on, guys, tell us where the action's happening. The players doubling in the middle of the maze, just slowly but surely building those pack point scores as they duel around for those positions so that they can get a run at setting up for a base. Let's have a look over at red, maybe? No, nothing happening at red.
Absolutely not. Bit of action happening at green, although not a whole lot.
And on that bottom camera, we can just see blue base. A few shots out of the base, maybe a couple of people out there, but not a whole lot.
That quick turn, good comms from the defenders down at red as well. So
yeah, no.
Very, very defensive game right off the bat here. So we're heading almost 4 minutes into the game and no bases.
All right, so we're going to swap over to the scoreboard and let's see what's happening here. We are seeing Vikings pulling ahead on the pack points. It's a bit hard to visualize when it's just numbers on the side. But looking here on those bars, we can see Vikings definitely winning this game on those pack
climbing
points.
Up there.
And that's despite their last liner having only 2 tags.
Everyone's sitting at 100% or higher, so very, very strong start by Vikings.
Yeah, Hazmat, infinite tag ratio, 1 tag, very bored at the back of red base. No one's come to say hi.
Very much so. And the one time we did see them, commed and tagged. So,
all right. Till someone gives me some action in some bases, we are going to be watching the arena cams, so where we can at least see players doing something instead of just standing in a base defending, which, let's be honest, is a hardest thing to do in laser tag, is being those last line players and having the patience.
Absolutely.
I can see hearts coming over the bench for me from 2 last line players sitting in the media room. But yeah, it's much more fun when you're the one running around dueling people in the middle of the maze than being that person just standing there waiting for that hit. Maybe some action coming now.
Steady
What base is
climbs.
worth looking at, do we think?
I'd say blue, lots of running around at blue. Action at the back door of green there. Although nothing happening on the outsides of the bases at blue now. So looks like it's all central game at the moment. It looks like we're going back to the arena camps just to see what people are doing.
Yeah, so I can see a blue player alive in that position. I think some teams are calling Lighthouse. It seems to be a nice spot for getting a bit of those pack points. Now, the Eclipse player is staying alive for quite a while. They've pushed quite far out from their base just to make sure that they are getting those opportunities to duel. We do see some Riptide players running around looking like they're doing a good job as well.
Blue hit.
Oh, who are we? Blue.
Runt.
Member leveled up.
Oh,
Well done.
a collision there.
Red team
No,
denied.
that was Pug Salad. Under blue, one shot into the base, could not get tagged,
Yep.
and gets a term
There's the
as well. So I didn't see a warning, rather. We can have a replay of what happened there at that blue base. Let's just see.
So,
He's in the base,
Pug Salad.
one
One
shot
shot.
in.
Getting dived by Runt, I think that was.
Yeah, green defender, or green player there turning up for the denial. So that's rough for Riptide.
Very, very
They were
rough
already
situation.
down on the
Leveled
pack,
up.
and they are
Well
now
done.
struggling with
Yeah.
a denial and a penalty as well.
Absolutely.
Hope their players can keep that mental game up and make sure it doesn't let them get them down early or do anything to make them panic.
Green
Red hit.
hiding in blue now. Is that a
Red
twinkle?
Oh.
Red destroyed.
So that was a noodle,
Noodle.
just going my red base.
Blue
Pretty
hit.
well.
Even as we talk
Blue
about it, I
hit.
think Riptide might have pulled
Blue destroyed.
Volley pulling the pin going. My turn.
my turn. Let me show you how to get a clean blue base. This is how we do it.
Absolutely.
So let's have a look at that blue take. All right, we don't get to see, unfortunately, how he managed to get into that base.
Rude.
The replay shows only that he is shooting it. But even as we look, we see a red player still sitting inside that blue base. So where has blue gone?
I'd say they've dumped to somewhere. Ghibli in that situation, you can see that Pug Salad had moved
Blue
out
hit.
from that
Blue
from that
hit.
panel. So
Blue
it may
destroyed.
be that the other player may have received an after game term. But
Member
it's
leveled
very
up. Red
un.
hit. Well done.
I'm
Red
not
hit.
reffing.
Yeah, well,
it, so.
Green hit.
let's just play the game. So we do see Dark Passion
Green
putting
team
two shots into
denied.
red base.
Green
It gets
destroyed.
denied as the red defenders get back. The Riptides pull back, and suddenly we're game on. Eclipse with 2 bases, Riptide with 2 bases, Vikings with no bases, but still in second, just on that pack score alone.
One base can change anything.
Yeah, so in these low base games, even those handful of
Blue
bases,
hit.
especially those clean bases, are
Green
huge.
underneath blue.
And
Blue
as we say that,
destroyed.
Vikings, they grab their 1 base and they're right into first.
Member
So well
leveled up.
done by Twinkles
Well
there.
done.
And it looks like the Vikings are electing to stay in blue. I still cannot see a single blue player on the screen. I can see red defenders in red. I can see green defenders in green. And I can see a green player set up in blue.
I can
where are
see
the blue
blue
players?
players set up at the front of red, just
Member
getting shot
leveled
out.
up. Well done.
Oh,
Leveled up.
now they've gone to
Well
blue.
done. Green hit.
Yep, Dark
Member
Passion.
leveled up.
Looks
Well
like.
done.
I
Oof.
wonder if
Blue
Eclipse have
hit.
maybe split dumped.
Blue
I'm
hit.
not sure.
Blue destroyed.
Vikings do manage to grab that second blue base. So that's Jellyhawk, often a last line for them, or a defender.
Just shoot him straight back home.
And yeah, let's have a quick look at the scoreboard
Red
for a
hit.
second. Oh, as Mopar.
One shot denial.
One shot
Blue
denial
team
there,
denied.
and a push on green as well that isn't successful. So we can see it's staying really tight, especially between Vikings and Eclipse. But
Yes.
Eclipse
Red
are
hit.
up a base, and they're about
Red
to be up
hit.
one more if Dark Passion
Red
finishes
destroyed.
this.
Yep.
That pulls them into the lead,
And red
23k.
underneath blue now as well.
Yeah, so look at that. We do have Riptide have said, no, Vikings can't just have this blue base for free. We can see it's a dump too. But they do double out. And we do see some defenders with some action at green base. It looks like blue maybe have possibly split dumped, trying both bases
Blue
at
hit.
once. 2 blue players run
leveled
in.
up.
Lee.
Well Blue done. destroyed. Green hit.
And yeah, a red player,
Green
Riptide
hit.
player grabbing that empty blue. So it'll be interesting to see. We
team
only have
denied.
2.5 minutes. I don't think both red and green can finish the empty blue.
Lots of chaos here at green.
Yeah, I think this is
Green
the place
hit.
to be. As
Green
shots
hit.
going into green from Mopar.
Very
destroyed.
nice.
Plenty of teammates to make sure he doesn't get tagged.
Absolutely. That was a very, very nice take.
And it does look like Riptide have gotten ahead of the game here at blue. No, we just say that. Vikings player times it
Blue hit.
perfectly.
Blue hit. Blue
Because there was no
destroyed.
point being in the base while the
There we
base is
go.
down. Gets there just in time to tag out the Riptide
Karen
player,
taking
grab the
that
base.
blue.
Oh.
Jellyhawk now set back up in defense.
Yep, so
Set
this is
two
Eclipse's
man.
game to lose a bit right now. Although Vikings, I guess, want one more blue base. If they can grab one more blue base or even two more blue bases,
Member
they
leveled
are
up.
Put
in a little
themselves
ahead.
in
Well
a
done.
comfortable position.
Yeah, especially if Eclipse are
Blue
not
team
able to
denied.
finish their base cycle with this dump.
That CV under there.
Blue
Yeah,
hit.
so it looks like CV now in blue
Blue
base,
hit.
taking it from
Blue
that back
destroyed.
wall, or sorry, that front wall. Nice long reach
Clean
around the
take.
panel. So Vikings now comfortably pushing
Sitting
into
up
that
that top.
first place. They have one base down on Eclipse and they are one base up on points. And Riptide, they don't seem to have been able to get anywhere with
No.
green base. Have
Kind
they
of
even
locked
tried?
out. I
Well
haven't
done.
seen them attempt.
Member leveled up.
However,
Well
we've seen
done.
a volley in green a few times. So they've been trying, but no luck, unfortunately.
All right, so we're going to jump back over
Blue
to
hit.
this blue base.
Blue hit.
Yeah, the Vikings
Blue
player was
destroyed.
hanging around for the sneaky
Well
denial, but they
done.
brought a friend this time and made sure that Riptide gets that clean base. We jump over to red. We do see Vikings. Oh, just can't quite shoot them all. Lots of action at red base here.
Only so much one person can do, that's for sure.
And if someone can just get in, as we
Red
see
hit.
Eclipse do, it
Red
looks like
hit.
Taipan putting
It does
shots
look
in
like
from directly
Taipan.
under. Two teammates holding the fort.
Member leveled up. Well
And do they
done.
hold that and push
Blue hit.
push another player through?
I mean, I
Blue
think that's
hit.
probably their plan. They've
Does
still got
look
three
like it.
players there.
Do they have time though?
I probably don't. So we just jump back over to the scorecards. Look at the end of this game. We see Vikings, I think, comfortably ahead now.
Yep.
But Eclipse pulling it out over Riptide, it looks like.
Yeah.
Game over.
That is
Please
huge.
proceed
Massive.
to exit.
A little bit of an upset there. However, all of these teams are very capable. So, as much as it is an upset for positions, not necessarily upset by team standard. So, looking at our little stat board here, we've got a 142 tag ratio twinkles.
We saw him doing some dancing, it looked like, under red base towards the
Absolutely.
end there, just shooting anything and everything. Runt with the high tagged streak as well as the chain tag. So Runt just went on a bit of a run at one point. Lots of players tagging other players while taking bases. That's really impressive, especially on these H2 packs where those
Very,
gun sensors are so
very
sensitive.
chaotic.
So these players doing an awesome job managing to get those tags on people while they get the bases and still managing to finish the bases. Hug salad, 3 denials on other players.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was impressive.